What's up? I know I'm late, but I am back with my recap and review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 4, episode 13, Wine and Grind. Okay, so we basically pick up where we left off last week, which is with the guys all pulling up at the reality house of all reality houses down in Atlanta, and Melanika is there to greet them, and she's wearing party confetti. Her belt is on correctly this time, though, I will say that. Okay, real cute. Marcel, of course, needs to, sprinkle in his little 2 cents about the nature of Martel and Melnika's relationship. I'm not going to get on him too much about that because apparently that's going to come up as a topic of conversation next week. So, we shall see, okay? But all the guys, Maurice, Marceau, and Louis, of course, they call their wives and do a quick little check-in. And you could tell, like, there is just so much tension, right? You could tell that no one really wanted to speak on it, but just the whole ambiance of them being down there on a guy's trip in Atlanta, spearheaded by Martel, you could already tell it's like, okay, y'all have fun. Talk to you later. But anyway, so they're all placing Martel as a ringleader, which I'm just like, I feel like that's code for like, yeah, Martel, yeah, he's in charge of everything. So then they just gonna throw the blame on him if something goes crazy. But I'm not even gonna say if something goes crazy because nothing went crazy. This episode really was not giving, and I was kind of disappointed because they kind of like bigged it up. But I think it's really just because the cameras were there. If the cameras weren't there, they would have been lit, honey. Mark my words, they'd have been lit. But anyway, they're all, gussied up afterwards, and they come downstairs. And when I tell you, it went from being a little wine tasting to a whole put a ring on it, are you ready to love mixer? I was like, excuse me? Because tell me why these gentlemen were greeted by I think I counted 10 women to be exact, looking their prettiest, prim and proper, right there. And let me just say that they were there with Mott Petrova was there, who has allegedly she's been said to be having a friendship with Martel. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, Martel says he didn't exactly tell the men about mostly women being there because he loves women. So he's basically, like, oh, well, y'all married, I'm not. So, like, he's just trying to, I feel like whatever. Anyway, so after his little bullshit speech, the guys break and, they start mingling or whatever. And Marceau immediately lets his misogyny show. And I'm like, okay, everyone's at least liking the wine, whatever. Because he says something along the lines of, like, women fixing plates or whatever. And I'm just like, if you don't go in there and fix your own goddamn plate, sorry, Tisha's not here. But anyway, so when they do this little tasting, the main suggestion is to add pink to the bottle. And then Melnika proposes that the guys all make sales pitches. So they all make sales pitches. Maurice's was actually the best. Lewis's was kind of made me uncomfortable. Marceau's was plain. But they all ended it with a cheers. It was real cute, whatever. So back in Huntsville, we see Kimmy down at Black with Tisha. And again, it's just like, there's just so much that's being said, that's not being said, that's being said. Like, we could just see, if you've been watching the previous season, you could just see, man. You could see right through there. And it was just like, okay. she's just all like, I hope they're on their best behavior. I bet you do. But anyway, back in Atlanta, Martell, you know, he says, you know, Lewis doesn't have anything to worry about because him and Tiffany are open. And I honestly still don't really know what that means exactly. But what I will tell you is that Tiffany and Lewis need to get their shit together, because he's saying one thing and she's saying one thing, and they are directly conflicting statements. But whatever. So we get this little flashback of Martell, Lewis, and Tiffany, and they're kind of joking about baby making. And I'm just like, I don't know. Again, I'm just so confused by their whole storyline this season. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. But anyway, Lewis denies being in an open marriage. He just says, you know, it's just open to different things. Like, what then? What? Marcel, of course, little nosy ass troll. This whole episode was just trolling, if you ask me. You know, he says, you know, he might take some of Lewis's advice after all. I'm just like, of course you would take this self-serving advice. But anyway, back at Black, like, honestly, all I hear is Martell. And I'm just like, although Martell is, y'all's husbands play their own role in doing whatever they be doing behind the scenes as well. I don't care. I'm sticking to that. So, you know, they're trying to just pinpoint all of what the guys are going to be doing and, you know, laughing, but low key it's like, oh my God, I hate this. That's all I'm seeing this entire episode, y'all. Like, that's literally all I'm seeing. And this review is honestly not even going to be that long because it really didn't give as much, you know. And Tisha, of course, goes on this whole spiel, you know, people destroy their families based on rumors. Girl, is it really a rumor? Because deep down inside, we could see right through your eyes that it ain't just a rumor to you. You're bothered by it. I don't care what you say. But she, of course, puts on this whole front as if, you know, she's stronger now. And, you know, if anything has gone down, you know, God will show. But for now, you know, all she has to do is just... all she's left with is to believe her husband. And I'm just like, no, all you're left with is your own wise judgment, intuition, and smarts about yourself and common sense. Girl, come on now, get your head out your ass. Like, get your head out of his ass, honestly. Anyway, and Kimmy's just sitting there like, girl, bless your heart. Bless your heart, sweet baby, because... Anyway, so now we go back to Atlanta. The guys are at the strip club, of course. Cigars are being smoked. There's just so much cap, in my opinion, and so much just uncomfortable. They just looked uncomfortable to me. I don't care what anyone says. They just looked uncomfortable and just downright dumb, if you ask me. Like, they've been outed. They can't do their usual rendezvous and endeavors, and it's just... we just watching them be awkward. And of course, this one particular dancer in particular comes up to Martell and, you know, dancing or whatever. And he says something along the lines of, yeah, that's going to be baby number 6 right there. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, like, maybe she's not a coleslaw and it's just going to fall for your little bullshit antics and a little and your charm and whatnot. So please don't put that on her. Ugh. Of course, Marcel has to let it be known. Strip clubs ain't my thing. But our hotel rooms? Okay. But anyway, moving right along, we get into the next morning and everybody's looking hung over and just dumb. They're eating some breakfast. Did I tell you guys this house was huge? They're eating some breakfast and getting geared up for the wine tasting. But before they do that, they're going to go to a smash room. And I just feel like throughout this whole scene, there was a lot of just culprit blaming and misplaced, like, ness or whatever. Mind you, back at the strip club, they took a picture. Maurice took a picture and he was like, yeah, I got the picture now. So, haha. And it's just, again, trolling throughout the entire episode. But of course, they start joking about Mel, Nika, and like all the Mels in Martell's life. And of course, he takes the time to, you know, say that, you know, Mel has a dark heart, a cold heart, like, and what do you have? Because you're so, you know, squeaky clean, right? Okay. Just playing in our faces, y'all. But back in Huntsville, Tiffany and Mel, they're out shopping and they talk about, you know, the little Utah trip and whatnot. And Tiffany says how grateful she was to have Mel there. And then, of course, we turn into her sex life. And I'm just like, I don't really give a damn about your sex life because, again, you're saying one thing and he's saying one thing. And Louis is sexually needy. And it's clear, you know, they just need to clarify the wants and needs of each person because, you know, do y'all think Louis is a sex addict or something? Because, again, it's like one thing is being said and then, you know, another thing is being said and it's just not making sense to me. She also shares that she thinks that Louis doesn't appreciate her strength. And I was like, see, that's another thing that we talk about y'all sex life so much. That's something that really needs to be talked about, I feel like. And I'm just like, Tiffany, are you ruining your marriage on purpose for a storyline? Are you, not even just you, are you and Louis ruining y'all's marriage just for a storyline? Because if so, like, that's just not cool, girl. And I just felt like Mel just seemed kind of disinterested again, that she just, not that she's just not putting in effort, but, you know, she just kind of seems disinterested. You know, she's getting her check. She's doing what she has to do to meet, you know, minimum requirements. But she really doesn't seem like she's trying to be engaged with anything involving this show. And I can't really be mad at her for that. Just give her a spinoff. Moving back to Atlanta, the guys, they hit the rage room and they start smashing Ish. Marceau dedicates it, of course, to Miss Wanda. Louis, of course, dedicates his to sexual frustration. And Maurice is, you know, always trying to act like he ain't got no issues. I'm do this because my boys is frustrated. But we really figure out later what his frustrations are about in his jean vest. And Martel dedicates his to pent up anger and frustration. So afterwards, they're all in the Sprinter and, you know, they're reflecting more on their lives' frustrations. And Marceau talks about how, you know, Wanda is, like, honestly the main detriment in his life, as well as our social media lives, because, you know, she never misses a chance to hop on live and talk some bullshit. I said. Maurice also takes the time to vent about Monster not being self-motivated and having to wake him up. And I'm just like, okay, but he's 15. Like, I get it, but I don't, because at the end of the day, he's 15. He's still a responsibility as a parent. And, you know, if you're saying that he's doing his extracurriculars, he's doing school, he's doing this, he's doing that, like, sorry that you had to wake him up. Like, I really just don't feel like that's a big deal. And I'm saying that I don't have kids, but I just, whatever. And they basically all agreed, like, motherfucker, he is 15. And Martel, of course, has sound judgment, you know, as it pertains to anything else in life except for his own. When he wants to go look in the mirror, like, it's just like he just don't see what is looking back at him. And of course, Louis dishes about his frustration, his sexual frustration. And the whole frustration versus the real issue is brought up, and everyone, you know, has their personal thoughts. And it's kind of like Marceau, I think in particular, was like, you know, you might want to figure this out before, you know, you guys are only on your second year of marriage, and this is already like, like, you guys might want to nip this in the bud now, because it's just going to grow further into a huger issue. And I kind of have to agree with him along those lines, not even just because it's about sex, even though, you know, sex is very important in you know, a relationship, of course, you know, being intimately compatible in that way, of course, but more so just like, you guys need to iron out these things as they come, because trust me, you don't want to let them add up as the years go on. I'm just saying. I mean, look at y'all's buddies over there in DC. But anyway, y'all, like I said, this episode wasn't really too much. I don't really have too much to say about it, because honestly, everything about this show has already been spilled over social media before we even, you know, the episodes even air or anything like that. It's just kind of played out, honestly, at this point. And I'm just kind of like, whatever. So y'all let me know what you think of my recap and review in the comments below. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I say comment again, but y'all know what I mean. Let me know what you think of this recap and review, of course. And yeah, y'all, I'll see you in the next one. As I do, you know, I'm gonna do what I do. But anyway, thanks, guys. Bye.